Your blood sugar number this morning, whether it was 130 or 190, may have had nothing to do with what you ate last night. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you takes less than 3 minutes a day, costs nothing, and it's something that almost every diabetes book, every specialist appointment, and every diet plan completely skips over. I'm talking about water. But not in the way you've heard before. I'm going to show you specifically what happens inside your body when you're even slightly dehydrated, and why it directly raises your blood sugar, even on a perfect day. This isn't a miracle. It's basic physiology, and once you understand it, you'll never think about hydration the same way again. If you've ever done everything right, took your medication on time, ate the same breakfast you always eat, and still got a blood sugar reading that surprised you, you already know what I mean. The frustrating truth is that after 60, your body's ability to regulate blood sugar becomes genuinely more complicated. Not because you're failing, but because 3 real physiological changes are working against you at the same time. First, your cells become less responsive to insulin. Insulin is essentially the key that unlocks your cells so they can absorb glucose for energy. Over time, those locks get stiff. The key still works, but it takes more effort. Second, your kidneys filter blood sugar less efficiently with age. Excess glucose lingers in the bloodstream longer before being cleared. Third, and this is the one almost nobody talks about, your thirst response becomes significantly less reliable after 60. Your brain's signal that says you need water dulls with age. You can be meaningfully dehydrated and feel completely fine. No dry mouth, no headache, nothing obvious. And here is where it gets important. When you're dehydrated, even mildly, even 2% below normal, your blood thickens slightly. Glucose that's already in your bloodstream becomes more concentrated, like adding less water to a juice mix. The same amount of sugar produces a higher reading. Studies have consistently shown that even mild dehydration can raise fasting blood sugar by 10 to 15 points. That doesn't sound like much. But if your morning target is 120 and dehydration is quietly adding 12 points on top, you're at 132, wondering what went wrong. Now here's the second problem. Dehydration also triggers your body's stress response. When your cells sense a water shortage, your adrenal glands release cortisol, a stress hormone, and cortisol, as a survival mechanism, instructs your liver to release stored glucose into your blood. This is your body preparing for an emergency that isn't actually happening. The result, a blood sugar rise with no food involved at all. This is why some people wake up with higher readings than when they went to bed. It's not magic. It's cortisol, triggered partly by overnight dehydration, telling your liver to dump glucose into your bloodstream before you even open your eyes. Before I walk you through what actually helps, I want to name the 3 mistakes I see most often, because you might be making one of them right now without realizing it. Mistake 1. Waiting until you're thirsty. Thirst is not an early warning system. It's a late alarm. By the time your mouth feels dry, your blood has already thickened, your cortisol has already started rising, and your blood sugar has already been affected. The solution isn't to drink more when you're thirsty. It's to drink on a schedule before thirst kicks in. Mistake 2. Trying to catch up by drinking a large amount all at once. Your digestive system can only absorb about 1 cup of water every 15 minutes. If you drink a full liter in one sitting to make up for a dry morning, most of it passes straight through without ever reaching your cells. Think of a very dry sponge. If you pour a cup of water on it slowly, it absorbs well. Pour a bucket on it all at once, and most of it runs off. Small, regular sips throughout the day work far better than one big glass. Mistake 3. Starting your morning with coffee before any water. Coffee is mildly diuretic. It causes your kidneys to release more water. If your first act every morning is a cup of coffee after 8 hours of sleep without fluids, you're adding dehydration on top of dehydration. The solution isn't to stop enjoying your coffee. It's simply to drink a glass of water first. Now, here's what research actually supports and what I've seen make a genuine difference in blood sugar patterns. There are 4 timing points in the day that matter most for blood sugar. Let me walk through each one. The first and most important, within 5 minutes of waking up. Before coffee, before breakfast, before checking your phone, drink 1 full glass of warm or room temperature water, about 10 to 12 ounces. Why is it warm? Cold water causes blood vessels to constrict slightly, which can slow circulation. Room temperature keeps things relaxed. Now, here's an optional addition that many people find helpful. Add a small pinch, and I mean very small, what fits on the tip of a finger, of unrefined sea salt. After 8 hours of sleep, you've lost not just water, but also electrolytes, minerals like sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These minerals actually help your cells absorb and use water rather than it passing straight through. Plain sea salt has these in small natural proportions. Regular table salt has had them removed, so use sea salt or Himalayan salt if you choose to add it. A squeeze of fresh lemon is optional too. Vitamin C and a mild acid that can help blunt the early blood sugar rise. This morning glass of water does something specific. It signals your adrenal glands that your body is stable and not in a crisis. That calms cortisol. And a calmer cortisol level means your liver is less likely to flood your bloodstream with stored glucose before breakfast. The second timing point, 10 to 15 minutes before your largest meals. Drinking about half a cup to 1 cup of water before eating does 2 things. It prepares your digestive system, waking up enzyme production, and it slightly slows the rate at which carbohydrates are absorbed from your meal into your bloodstream. Slower absorption means a gentler blood sugar rise. Not flat. Your blood sugar will still rise after eating, as it should, but it rises more gradually, giving your available insulin time to keep up. Clinical studies have shown pre-meal water can reduce post-meal blood sugar peaks meaningfully, particularly in people managing type 2 diabetes. The third timing point, during physical activity. If you walk, garden, do any sustained movement for more than 20 minutes, sip water every 15 minutes rather than waiting until you're done. When you exercise while dehydrated, your blood sugar can fluctuate unpredictably, sometimes spiking, sometimes dropping in ways that are harder to anticipate. Small sips during activity keep your blood volume stable and make the response to exercise more consistent. The fourth timing point, 1 hour before bed. A small glass of water, half a cup to 1 cup, before sleep helps your overnight hydration stay steady. Some people find adding 150 to 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate to their evening water makes a real difference in both sleep quality and overnight blood sugar stability. Magnesium plays a key role in insulin signaling. It's involved in how your cells respond to insulin, and studies consistently show that many people over 60 are mildly deficient. You don't need large amounts. A modest supplement before bed, with your doctor's knowledge, is safe for most people. How much water total? A practical rule, take your weight in pounds, divide it by 2, and aim for that number in ounces per day. So, a 160-pound person would aim for roughly 80 ounces, about 10 cups. Add 1 extra cup for every 20 minutes of exercise or time spent in heat. And check your urine. Pale yellow is the goal. Colorless means you're overdoing it. Dark yellow means you need more. One important caution. If you have kidney disease or heart failure, talk with your doctor before significantly increasing how much water you drink. For these conditions, fluid intake needs to be individually managed. For most otherwise healthy people, the changes I've described are safe and gradual enough not to cause problems, but your doctor should know. I want to share one story, briefly, because it captures something I've seen repeated many times. A patient in her late 60s managing type 2 diabetes for over a decade. Meticulous about her diet, never missed a medication dose. Her A1C had climbed to 8.2 despite everything. When I asked her to walk me through a typical morning, the picture became clear. She woke up, made tea, checked her phone, and didn't drink actual plain water until mid-morning at the earliest. 8 hours of sleep plus 2 more hours awake. She was running on empty before her day had started. We made one change at a time, starting with the morning glass of water before her tea. 3 weeks later, her fasting readings were consistently 15 to 20 points lower than before. No medication change, the same diet, just water, at the right moment. I'm not telling you this because water cures diabetes. It doesn't. I'm telling you because sometimes the smallest, most overlooked things are quietly making an already difficult situation harder, and fixing them creates real, measurable breathing room. Here's the full picture in a few sentences. Mild dehydration thickens your blood, concentrates glucose, and triggers a cortisol response that releases stored sugar from your liver, all before you eat a single thing. Your thirst signal is no longer a reliable guide after 60, so waiting to feel thirsty means you're already behind. The fix is simple. Water first thing in the morning before coffee, a small glass before your main meals, sips during activity, and a small glass before bed. Spread throughout the day rather than all at once. Slightly warm or room temperature rather than ice cold. Consider a small pinch of sea salt in your morning water and magnesium before bed. Both support how your cells use water and respond to insulin. Track your morning readings for 2 weeks while you try this consistently. Let the numbers tell you whether it's working. If anything in this video matched something you've been quietly wondering about, those unexplained morning spikes, those afternoons where your energy just drops, I hope it gave you something useful and concrete to try. Managing blood sugar is a long game. Small, consistent habits matter more than dramatic changes. And sometimes the thing that's been missing is something as simple as a glass of warm water before the rest of your day begins. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who's managing diabetes, a parent, a spouse, a friend who's been struggling with their numbers. It costs nothing and might mean everything to them. Subscribe if you'd like more content like this. Practical, evidence-grounded, and written for people who are actually living with these challenges every day. Take good care of yourself.